So something else the gentleman said that I found absolutely intriguing was he does not feed his bison hay. Who knew Red Prairie was going to be the friendly one? So one of the things that I learned from that conference was I had a conversation with a gentleman who is out in northeast Kansas, runs quite a few bison, and he practices rotational grazing, basically regenerative agriculture. And we got talking about mob grazing bison, and his take on it was basically that it was kind of a lost cause. Yes, you can build a fence that's going to hold bison in a small area, but being able to have a couple strands that's movable and confining those animals in a really small area was really difficult to do with bison. This electric wire here is a little too close to this. I'm going to try to move these posts out a little bit. But one of the reasons why I would say I take this guy's advice a little bit more seriously and a little different is because he has tried it. He does practice regenerative agriculture. He does have multiple fields. I can't remember how many he told me. It was somewhere around the nature of like 40 to 80 fields that he separates them out to. So I know that he's actively trying to do that. I have seen some of his methods, and he does seem like he knows what he's talking about. Looks like this wire got snagged over here, a little too loose. So something else the gentleman said that I found absolutely intriguing was he does not feed his bison hay. So what that means for you guys that aren't in agriculture is that means that he's not either cutting hay down and feeding it to the animals in the winter, or he is not having someone else cut it down and he's bringing that hay in. So what he's actually doing is he has enough ground and he's managing it well to where he just lets the animals run on the ground 100% of the time, even through the winter. Now that's kind of unheard of in the agriculture space right now. There are some people out there talking about doing it. You can look it up and there's people doing it. Some of the terms that they use is strip grazing. They'll take a wire like this here, and they will set a new strip of grass for them every day or every week. So some people are actually doing it that way. But this gentleman has multiple paddocks or pastures, and then he will take and open up a new pasture for them depending upon what he thinks they need. So maybe every couple days, every week, and he manages it that way. And he does not feed them round bales or square bales. He does keep an emergency amount of hay in the winter for when you have, a foot of snow and it's all ice or something like that. But the really cool thing about bison is that they are actually tremendous snowplows. Their head is designed to be able to sweep back and forth and to be able to get down to that grass that they need. So that is something I'm actually going to be exploring and trying to figure out if that's viable for us in our scenario, given that we're a small farm, or if that's something that's going to be more geared towards a larger farm. I don't know. I have studied it a little bit on the cow side. I haven't heard of anyone doing it on the bison side. But when you think about it, they're doing it in Yellowstone. If you get enough ground, you can do it. What I really have to figure out is if it's financially viable. So if there's enough nutrition in the grass by it laying dormant all winter. Also, if you'll come out ahead by just letting them go out and graze and having a larger area, or if you'll come out ahead by buying hay. This has been a blessing to be able to have this field for the bison and not have to fence it. but this temporary fence is a little bit of a pain whenever we get strong winds, which happens a lot out here. It tends to kind of mess with this fence, so I'm constantly kind of checking it. We will fence this soon. I've just got some other projects going on right now, so I've got to get some things to slow down a little bit first. So there is definitely a learning curve from going from the city to the country and trying to figure out how to raise crops and livestock, grow crops and livestock, I should say. But I like that learning curve. I really enjoy learning about these animals, and I really enjoy trying to figure out how to maximize their health, maximize the profit of the ranch. I enjoy all that, but sometimes you don't learn quite as fast, and then you can have setbacks. And so you're always trying to figure out what your risk is and if it's worth trying new things. So things like, not feeding hay to the animals, you're always assessing how much risk is involved with trying that new method. Some of you guys asked if maybe strong wind was pacing in the corner because of the storm. Blue skies, and she's in the corral, and she was just pacing just a second ago. Yeah, I love trying new things with these guys, but you are having to weigh your risk and try to figure out if it's worth trying something new with them and if it's worth diving into something like that. Who knew Red Prairie was going to be the friendly one? I think my fingers are salty. The funny thing is being able to raise livestock. When you look at these animals out in the field, you think that is your first priority, which it is, but really you're a grass farmer is all you are, because you're really focusing on the grass. If you don't focus on the grass, these animals will go to the wayside. One of the things I thought was interesting is at that bison conference I went to, they touched on those impossible burgers, they call them, that are starting to catch on. And They actually threw up on the screen the list of ingredients the Impossible Burgers have in them, and then they threw on the screen bison meat. And obviously bison meat was, I believe, bison and grass. There was like 2 or 3 things they put on there. The Impossible Burger ingredients list was, I want to say, somewhere around 20 to 25, if not more, ingredients in there. And one being something that is actually used into commercial laxatives. It's incredible to me that we want to take and alter something away from what's already in the field. I mean, this is way more healthy than a Impossible Burger. But that's kind of the nature of us as humans. We tend to try to take things and make them better, but in the end, it never ends up working that way. It seems like, you know, these animals are just perfect out in the field. Thank you for watching, guys. My name is Noah Gordon. We are Broken Arrow Bison, and we will see you next time.